What's up, everybody? My name is KSaun. Welcome back to the WDL. This is Season 2, Week 8 of the Rundall Division. And taking a look at the standings through the first 7 weeks, we only have one team that has officially clinched a playoff berth, and that is Coppola, coach of the Gnostics, with 21 points. He has a perfect 7-0-0 record up to this point. Second place, we've got MaechenX of the Shoopufs Sweetheart. He officially clinches a playoff spot with one more point. The only people who could actually tie him from outside of the top 4 is SurfTaco and the Superrenes, and he has the tiebreaker over him. So if MaechenX gets a single game win over the next 2 weeks, he would also clinch. After that is where it gets very, very interesting. In third place, we've got Sandrooster and the Bearhemian Rhapsody with 15 points. My team of the Demon Detectives with 14. SurfTaco also tied with me currently, the Superrenes with 14. Willy Goats of the Corpse Brigade with 13. And AllSmokedUp of the Gumi Gods with 11. After that, the rest of the teams are officially out of the playoffs, and they will be competing in our toilet bowl. And that is King Delita of the Black Sheep Knights, Mr. Aloha of Pineapple Pizza, and Unhindered of the Storm Reborn. I don't want to get into too many tiebreaker scenarios and stuff like that. I will talk about that at the end of the week and see how that goes. I talked about it a little bit last week, but the biggest thing to note is that for these teams here that are kind of all like fighting for playoffs here, there's a lot of really juicy matchups coming up. So Bearhemian Rhapsody is facing AllSmokedUp and the Gumi Gods. So this 11 and 15 points play each other this week, which should be a really, really good one. Shoopufs Sweetheart 19 versus 13 here at the Corpse Brigade play each other this week. And Coppola of the Gnostics 21 versus SurfTaco 14. So some really, really interesting matchups of some of these top teams. And a couple of these teams down here looking to try and play spoiler for those other higher teams. So should be a really, really great week. I'm excited to get into the matches, and let's jump into them. All right, guys, for their first series of the day, on the left side, we've got Unhindered of the guild Eureka's Ward, coach of the Storm Reborn, versus King Delita of the guild Hokutin, coach of the Black Sheep Knights. And this is our first matchup of the day. Obviously, not a whole lot of playoff implications, but it should be a fun one at least. I know Unhindered is trying to get on the board for the first time, currently 0-7, but I know he wants that first point and hopefully first 3 points. And he's going to try and get that this week. So he's got Esther, he's got Pissarro, More the Merrier, Little Lila Halloween, Rain, Tifa, Frederica, Phoebe, Sosha, Mish, and Urel. And on the Black Sheep Knight side, we've got Flagbearer Glassy, King of Leonis Mont, Terra, Agrius, Farouche, Winter Mashri, Fina, Helena, Adelard, Vadim, and Renan. And from these teams, honestly, not entirely sure what to expect. King Delita's carry, obviously, to this point has been Flagbearer Glassy. That's no surprise. She's been an absolute beast. Though, against me, did put in some work with the Renan and Farouche combo, so would love to see some of that come out as well. For Unhindered and the Storm Reborn, I know that he's waiting to use Tifa. I don't know if he will use her this week, but I'm hoping that happens at least at some point. Halloween Little Lila, I could see being somewhat effective on this map, potentially. But I'm not sure like really who he's going to bring out here. I think he needs some sort of pierce resist, so I could see Esther coming out because she can be pretty bulky versus pierce damage for the Flagbearer Glassy, but I don't want to deliberate on it too much. I'm excited to get into it. Let's jump into game 1. All right, guys, game number 1 here. It wasn't really a loading screen here, but we did have Esther showing on Unhindered side. And for King Delita, we had Winter Mashri showing. So Esther, Pissarro, and Mish for Unhindered. And it looks like Winter Mashri, Helena Leonis, we have not seen yet a single time this season, and Terra. So it should be very, very interesting here. Double fire comp with a potentially haste and quicken user, maybe? I know Helena does have time mage subjob. Magnetic Force comes out from Esther here. Getting some AoE resist, getting her own physical and magic shield online. And Dragon Scale is going to come out. That is an upgraded version of that Dragon's Kin, I think is what it's called. But it gives Protect as well as a bunch of other things here. Treasures Hunter's Fortune. So Agility and Luck up. Probably not. Well, actually could be an Evasion Starro. Excuse me. Probably not an Evasion Esther. Although it looks like, yeah, another haste coming out from Helena. So this is Time Mage sub Helena. Will be probably a quicken follow-up after this, I would assume. Indomitable Spirit +1, so Pissarro's going to have his Courage online, as well as some physical damage up. Is the Haste and Courage going to be enough to get through this comp? Let's see, Winter Mashri going to pop up in the air. How much damage is this going to do? I don't know if she has AoE jumps. I think she does have one AoE jump, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Looks like she's going to be hung up in the air for quite a while. Meltdown Plus going to do a lot of damage, my goodness. Drops the Mish in one hit, almost kills Esther and Pissarro, to be honest. Does a lot of damage there. Drain Dive misses. So that was a single target attack onto the Mish, who then was dead. Strike of Ruin comes out. Courage removed from Terra, but crucially does not pop her in one hit. Her courage didn't matter, but she has, it looks like 50 health maybe. Sharpshoot comes out from Winter Machery, and this is an early 3v1 in King Delita's favor. 224 health left on the Terra, and is now a 3v1. Pissarro is a good unit, but he only has 1 health left. Is it going to be enough? Have to find out here. Unhindered walks up and does an AoE, kills the Terra. Does not kill Winter Machery, though. She is still pretty healthy, and she does have guaranteed hits in her kit with the Sharpshoot. Though I say that, she only has 8 AP. She goes for it. She misses. Wait a minute. Wait, she doesn't have a way to get AP. If she can't hit, she can't get AP. Does she have the accuracy to hit without it? She's not going to be able to get a Sharpshoot. Guard haste, haste and defense up. What can Pissarro do here? Unhindered has not won a single time here. He has 1 health and a dream with Pissarro. But with an evasion unit, this is possible. Goes for the limit break. Cannot kill the Helena in 1 hit. So that is the second miss coming out from Winter Machery, but she does not have a way to get AP. Count up the misses. How many times is she going to have to miss for Unhindered to win here? Another auto attack coming out from Pissarro. He's going to have AP. He might be able to kill her next hit. I don't know. It's tough. Third time is the charm. Not this time. 0 for 3 up to this point. Can Unhindered take this with a 1 health Pissarro? Oh my god, she goes again. She goes like, she is 0 for 4. She just needs to hit 1 time. She has a percentage chance because she's going for it. There's a reflex. Oh my god. Tell me Unhindered doesn't lose to a reflex because she gets this auto attack next time. No, he's gonna lap. He goes next. 44 AP. Night Veil. Night Veil is enough. 5286. Unhindered takes the game 1 win. Unhindered is officially on the board with his 1 HP Pissarro in a dream. Oh man. Oh man, congratulations to Unhindered. I know he is such an awesome guy. I'm so happy for him that he got on the board. I'm sure you could tell. But yeah, he's been sitting at 0 points all season. He's been so damn close so many times. And King Delita is a tough play, honestly. He's a tough matchup. He brought me to 3 games. He's brought Coppola to 3 games. He beat MaechenX. So like, this is no pushover opponent. The fact that Unhindered finally got on the board, I'm so happy for him. Can he finally win a series is now the question. Can, his first point become 3 points? We'll have to find out. What do these 2 teams bring out for game 2? I'm sorry that you're staring at a black screen. This recording has been going, and this is how the recording started. So it like cut and then it went to here, but whatever. Anyway, let's jump into game 2 and let's see what happens. All right, game number 2, guys. We've got Sosha on the left side and Flagbearer Glassy on the right side. I smartened up this time that it showed this for a split second. I can just pause the video and then hit play. So those are the 2 home screen units we've got here. So I'm curious to see what we have going on. So is it the exact same team coming out from Unhindered? No, it is not. What am I thinking? He didn't even bring Sosha last time. Of course it's not the same team. Sosha, Pissarro, and Rain. And on the right side, we've got Flagbearer Glassy, Winter Machery, and Adelard, it looks like. Okay, so double Pierce with the magic damage dealer in the back. He also is able to get like haste on the team and stuff like that. So the AoE buff on Flagbearer Glassy. Bells popped for Winter Machery, so she will have plenty of AP. And turning it around the camera, it looks like. So if you thought Unhindered was on the left side, he is now on the right. So just as a thing, just as a heads up, Unhindered is now on the right. Keenblade comes out from Sosha. CT up, slash attack up, getting the party boosted up. Up and up and up and up and up we go. Indomitable Spirit +1, courage and physical damage. Again, just like last time. And the fast cast comes out. So hasten unit attack resist up. Not a surprise. This is a very good buff now that their red mage got that job upgrade. And Astral Guard is on for Rain, so he has hate. So he will be able to soak up damage here. Zombie transformation coming out from Glassy, so she has re-raise. And Dragon's Might. Gonna get the protect and all those other good buffs. Try and up her damage. I don't think Winter Machery can reach. She cannot. She goes for Dragon Scale. So she goes for the same ability, just a little better version. Pissarro goes Padfoot. So he uses his own TMR, haste and hate down. And we should be nearing the time when they go and close in on each other. There should be another fast cast. It looks like on Winter Machery. So it should be a second hasted up unit. Yep, it is. And Rain, what can you do here? He goes for Flaming Impact. 1084 does not land the slow. I do believe that has a chance to slow. Not sure if they have resist on Glassy or not. The reflex, though, could be pretty massive. Strike of Ruin, not sure how much damage that would have done. But it gets reflexed. Sosha, what can you do? Sharpshoot comes out and hits the Winter Machery for 2272. Honestly, tanked pretty well, I would say. And what does she go for here? Does she have the AoE here? Last time it was a single target ability on the Mish. I wonder if this is an AoE. Shining Conviction is certainly an AoE though. And that is pretty good damage onto both Pissarro and her Rain, about half health. And what is this? So this is Dragon Dive. My goodness, that is a big AoE. Procs the Courage on Pissarro. Good damage on the other two as well. Strike of Ruin though is no joke. What is the CT like though? Adelard, and then Adelard Ceiling Thrust takes out Sosha. This is now a 3v2 and Winter Mashri is going to go next. Can she get another Dragon Dive off? She spent a lot of time in the air last time. No, she's going to go for the Limit Break. Not something you get to see every day. Holy Knight's Gift. Doing her best Santa Claus impression. She's going to drop some gifts off for these people, but I don't think they're going to like these gifts very much. One of the hits dodged by Pissarro, but he needed to dodge all of them. That is not enough. Winter Mashri gets the double kill and takes him out in game 2. So this is going to a game 3 for Unhindered versus King Delita. So very, very hyped series. It's been enjoyable to watch. Let's hop into game 3 and see who takes it. All right, guys, game number 3 here. We've got Unhindered on the left side and King Delita on the right side here. So we got Sosha and Flagbearer Glassy showing. So I believe these are the same 2 home screen units as we saw in game 2, but I'm wondering if they're the same 3 teams or the same 3 unit teams. No, they are not. So Unhindered has got Sosha, Esther, and Frederica, it looks like. And for King Delita's got Flagbearer, Glassy, Terra, and Vadim. All right. So we'll have to see what goes on here. So Terra, gonna go Padfoot, get that Haste and Hate down buff. So that is Pissarro's TMR. Frederica, oh man, in range for a barrage. That normally I say that's really bad, but that is a lot of damage. 5398, not bad. Magnetic Force though, I think that Unhindered probably was hoping that King Delita started on the other side. Was hoping Frederica was able to get bells off and then come into these two. We'll have to see. Keenblade's going to come up. So they're going to move forward more quickly. So maybe they can draw some aggro away from the Frederica. I didn't pay attention to Sosha's movement. Not sure if she has Bowtie. I don't know if she has 4 standard move. I don't think she is. So she's probably not running that. Saintly Healing comes out from Terra though. Not able to do damage, just heals herself. And she actually has enough AP for Vital Sharpshoot. Removes the haste and drops her back a little bit. So Frederica, even without bells, is actually putting in a little bit of work here. Re-Raise comes out from Flagbearer Glassy. But these 2 other units need to get in the fight quick. They need to join her. She is out all alone. Just like Donkey from Shrek, nobody beside her. And her problems are not all gone because there are 3 units ready to kill her. Dominate Hard comes out. That is going to land. Curious to see how this works out with the CT. Frederica hits again, kind of taking out this Terra. What does she have here though? Meltdown Plus is going to do a ton. 4660 does not one-shot though. Flagbearer Glassy, can she reach? No, she can't. Beacon of Reform. So this has been so weird. Everybody's basically been buffing up, and then there's this like 1v1 between Terra and Frederica. I'm curious to see who wins that. Sosha's Charm, though, what does she go for? She's going to channel. This is probably her Ranger ability. Vital Sharpshoot. This Frederica is just putting in work. I feel like she was up against it to start, and she's doing a lot right now. Sneak Attack, 721. Who does this hit? So this hits the Esther Mega Charge. It's going to drop her unit attack resist. Esther needs to take out the Vadim. He dodges it. Vadim, the Dodge King, dodges the Storm Brand. The Terra comes out, Meltdown Plus. That is going to take out Frederica. Man, that charm is still there. For Unhindered side, he needs that to go away. It's going to go away. She almost went away by herself. Triple Cross comes out. This is a smart decision by Esther. Said, hey, no thank you. I don't want to screw with the dodgy Vadim. I want to take out the 2 threats. This needs to do a lot of damage for Unhindered. The Bunny Bolt Blitz comes out. How much is going to do? It's enough to double kill. Glaciella does have re-raise, though. What is the CT like? Does Sosha come up first? It's looking like Flagbearer Glassy goes first. No, Vadim does. Oh, he's going to take out Sosha. This is now a 2v1. This looks like it was Unhindered's game to win. Now I'm not sure. How much damage is going to do? Barrier Break Lance. Not enough. 40-24. Can Esther take her out? No, she didn't have to move the CT. She goes again. Triple Cross takes her out. Oh my goodness. And the agility difference, the CT difference was massive. Flagbearer Glassy not having to move. Ended up getting to go twice in a row after her re-raise. I'm actually shocked that's how that worked out. That's crazy. I honestly thought Esther was going to be able to pull that out. And then, man, incredibly close game 3. Honestly, that could have went either way. Props to Unhindered for getting his first point on the board. Very easily could have been his first series on the board. But congratulations to King Delita. I think that brings him all the way up to 9 points. It's very, very respectable. So, Hey, a great series. Obviously doesn't have a whole lot of implications to the standings, but does have implication as to the standings for the toilet bowl. And I'm not sure exactly how it'll play out here, but if you are the top 2 seeds in your division in the toilet bowl, you're basically going to get a first round bye. So King Delita currently in 8th, I think. I wonder if he's able to get into 7th place or like 6th place. I'm not sure if that's possible or not. I don't think it is. But regardless, it was a heck of a good series. We got 4 more for you guys today. Let's jump into number 2. All right, guys, the second series of today, Sandrooster of the guild Get Swifty on the left here, coach of Bearhemian Rhapsody versus AllSmokedUp of the guild Starnies, coach of the Gumi Gods. And AllSmokedUp really needs to probably try and win out to make the playoffs. He is technically actually not out of it, I don't think, if he loses, but his odds of making it are very, very slim if he loses, and he pretty much needs the other teams like me and SurfTaco to lose and all that kind of stuff too. So he really needs to try and win to have a chance at making it. And for Bearhemian Rhapsody and Sandrooster, depending on how the matches fall, could potentially clinch a playoff spot if he wins his series, but it is not a guarantee. So we'll have to look at the rosters here. So for Sandrooster, he's got JAYDEN, Summer Helena, Queen of Horn, Mashari, Queen Engelbert, Winter Ravi, Cyrell, Murmur, Zazan, and Joom. And for the Gumi Gods, we've got Astria, Sylvie, Locke, Chunak, Sakura, Rachez, Camilo, Mont, Slime, Surges, and Hope. What will we see here today for Bearhemian Rhapsody? I really do expect that double JAYDEN comp. He didn't run it last week against Mr. Aloha, but I do think that was because of Celis and some potential elemental disadvantage. Otherwise, he's been running it a ton, and this map I think would be incredibly good to run it on, so I would not be surprised to see that come out for Bearhemian Rhapsody. For the Gumi Gods on their side here, what do you see? I'm not sure. I think you need some sort of sustain. So I expect probably something like Slime or Sylvie. I think one of those two probably come out in some fashion, because my thought process is like you have to somehow withstand the first initial blow of those JAYDENs and heal through it as you like make your way over while they like get rid of all their AP. I don't know though. Maybe that's not the right strategy to take, because I got absolutely obliterated by them, so it's hard to say. But I would not be surprised to see either Sylvie or Slime, or honestly both, come out. I think one of them being able to sustain is pretty crucial here. So that would really be my only guess as to what he would bring here. So that being said, Rachez might actually be really nice here. I didn't think about this, but she has a 7,500 magic health shield. And I don't remember if JAYDEN and Summer JAYDEN have a barrier break in their kit. I don't think they do. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think they do. So Rachez might actually be a really good tech here. Curious to see if we see her come out this week. But let's jump into game number 1 and find out. Game number 1 here, we've got Sandrooster's JAYDEN showing on the left side and AllSmokedUp Sylvie showing on the right side. So we are seeing one of those healers at least from AllSmokedUp side. Well, whether we will see the other one or not, apparently we will. So it is both the sustain users. For his side, he's hoping that's enough healing. Oh my gosh, this positioning is very close. I think Sandrooster is doing this on purpose to just blitz the other team right away. Magic Blast Plus comes out. That is a ton of damage. Oh my god, this is the limit break. Is this hitting multiple or is it just Sylvie? This fight could be over before it starts. He's trying to set a record for how quick this fight goes. Drops the Sylvie like nothing. And my goodness, this JAYDEN team is so oppressive. It's just absolutely insane. Is this Rebel Intention, though? Sakura could do a ton of damage here. This is a heal coming out from Slime. Did they blow all their AP? Will they get wrecked by this? No. Magic Reflex is going to come out. Of course it does. Rebel Intention. I'm very curious to see if that would have killed in one hit. I don't know if it would have or not. I think it probably gets him down to like 20%-ish. It's hard to say, though. Keen Blade comes out from Zazan. JAYDEN's going to go Golden Man Shot. That probably one-shot Slime. Yeah, it gets him down to Courage. Summer JAYDEN, can he hit an AoE on both? No, he's only got 5 AP, so what can he do? He's just going to auto-attack the Sakura. But this agility is too high. Zazan's going to go, and then JAYDEN's going to go. The Steel Heart. Oh my gosh, a Lance the Charm. I think JAYDEN's out of AP too. Wait, what just happened? Sakura just hopped JAYDEN in the... What? How did she just hop him in turn order? Am I crazy? JAYDEN was ahead of her. I'm so confused. The charmed Sakura hopped him in turn order, walked back, and slapped her own Slime in the face. AP Break Shot comes out from JAYDEN. And my goodness, that is a kill. So he didn't set a record for quickest win, but my goodness, that was obliteration. I'm so sorry for AllSmokedUp here in this game 1. This double JAYDEN comp is just so ridiculous. I think it is one of the scariest teams, if not the scariest team that we have in all of the WDL. It's just absolutely insane to me, especially with like maps like this where you can reach right out of the gate. You run some AP runes on these guys and it's just absolutely nuts. So what does he have for game 2? Because obviously the sustain thing did not work. Does he bring the same comp and just pray to God that his positioning is better? I don't know. We're gonna have to find out in game 2. Let's jump into it. Game number 2 here, guys. So it looks like the same units showing for both teams here. Regular JAYDEN for Sandrooster, Sylvie showing for AllSmokedUp. So is it the same comp? There's still a big magic stat from AllSmokedUp here. I would be curious to see, does he run something like that Rachess? Like, does he try the magic shield tactic with some Sylvie slime healing in the back? That might be something that I would give a chance here. I don't know, because game 1 went very poorly. So we'll have to find out here. So it is the exact same comp. So he might have some other, idea coming in here. We'll have to find out. So it looks like Sandrooster is actually spacing a little differently, putting himself further back. So this might actually give AllSmokedUp a chance to close in at least. Okay. Because he was not able to do that last time. Can't beat this. Heat comes out, Spirit Piercing rate. So does not do the AoE buff on Summer JAYDEN. Just does his single target. Bulwark of the Bull will be nice. Not insanely good, but it is good. They have a lot of missile pen on the other side, but it still helps at least to an extent. And what is Sakura going to go here for this AoE buff? Accelerate from Slime, getting everybody's agility up. And she goes for Thunder's Protection. So light attack resist up will be nice for the regular JAYDEN. Obviously, it won't impact the Summer JAYDEN as much, but it will at least, kind of mitigate that regular JAYDEN Rundall, King JAYDEN damage. Padfoot comes down. This is Pissarro's TMR. And if JAYDEN wasn't impressive enough, haste is definitely going to help. What does Kanzazan do? Nothing. He cannot reach. And I can't imagine Summer JAYDEN can reach yet either. So he goes just for the Tidus TMR, warming up. And what do we see from Sylvie here? I imagine should be able to take out the Zazan. Yeah, I'll protect everyone. I think the naming of that skill is so hilarious because it's a protection name, but it's actually just like obliterating an enemy. Just smokes the Zazan in one hit, so at least better than last fight for sure. And what's going on here? So Sakura's channeling again something. Emergency meditation comes out from Slime, so he will be able to heal back up if he's got low health. Nimble movement. What can JAYDEN do? Can he find a Magic Blast Plus? No, he goes Jamming Thrust. That is pretty good for AllSmokedUp side. The fact that he cannot find the AoE. And Summer JAYDEN, what does he have? Just going to auto attack the Slime. So take him out. Not the worst turn for AllSmokedUp though. He avoided the AoEs. He needs Sylvie to walk up and do a ton of damage. She should be in range for something here, I believe. No, she's going to channel. Is this a full life? Eternal Pain comes out from Sakura though, and this did not get magic reflexed like last time. Some pretty good damage. Does not one-shot the JAYDEN though. Magic Blast Plus comes out. Does a little over half of Sakura's health here. What is the timing? There's the full life on the Slime. He needs to move out of the way, though. Oh, no. Wow. Sylvie went full life and then immediately got her limit break right in a row. This is going to be a one-hit shield and a heal as Sandrooster's phone looks like times out for a brief second here. But the JAYDENs are going to go again right in a row. Can Sakura live this? Sakura needs to live this. She has a one-hit shield, so this hopefully shouldn't do a ton of damage to her. It still did a ton of damage to her. 6,600. Oh my goodness. Summer JAYDEN should be able to find an AoE here, I think. This is going to be tough. Sylvie's going to have to pull off this 1v2. She needs to kill the regular JAYDEN right now and win a 1v1. It is not over, but she needs to pull that off. Clever Paladin Strike. She still has her one-hit shield on, I believe. This is a 1v1. AllSmokedUp might be able to take this, actually. Maelstrom Jet comes out 3272. And Sylvie needs to be able to take him out. Oh my god, he is just so fast. Maelstrom Jet just chains with himself. The barrier is gone and takes her out in one hit. Between the barrier being gone and the chain, it was enough damage to take the kill. Sandrooster's going to win game 2, and he wins the series. Man, oh man. This double JAYDEN comp is just so damn impressive. Honestly, AllSmokedUp gave it his fair chance in game 2. Did better than I did, that's for sure. That is just so incredibly hard to beat. Honestly, without like the time difference, maybe Sylvie would have been able to take him out in one hit. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe there's a chance there. But GG's. Hats off to Sandrooster. Depending on what happens in the rest of the matchups, we'll have to find out if he has clinched his ticket to playoffs or not. Let's jump into those other series and find out. All right, guys, so this is series number 3 between SurfTaco of the guild Dead Society, coach of the Superrenes, versus Coppola of the guild Galleon and coach of the Gnostics. And just a little bit of thing before I go into this team preview. So now that Sandrooster has won his series, in order for him to clinch the playoffs this week, 2 things need to happen of 3 teams. Between my team, SurfTaco's team, and Willie Goats' team, 2 of those 3 teams need to lose in order for Sandrooster to clinch playoffs this week. If 2 of them lose out of the 3, then he will officially clinch playoffs. But if 1 or 0 of them lose, then essentially he still has to play next week. So for me, for SurfTaco and Willie Goats, we're always all basically trying to make it as hard as possible for him. So that is kind of what I wanted to say real quick before we dive into this preview. So SurfTaco of the Superrenes here. We've got Perrine, Shadowlinks on Ice, Halloween Lucia, Summer Elsie, Aerith, Frederica Halloween, Whisper, Elshra, Ramada, Little Lila, and Winter Venera. And for Coppola of the Gnostics, we've got Starlight Elena, Skahal, Cloud, Lucio, Raldor, Ildira, Victoria, McLeod, Lilith, Naya, and Howlet. So for the Gnostics, we've really only seen 2 teams come out. They are all revolving around that Naya pick, who has been absolutely just curb stomping people. Skahal and Cloud together are undefeated with her, and Starlight Elena and Lucio are currently at an 8-2 record, a perfect series record, but have dropped 2 single games over the course of the season. For SurfTaco in the Superrenes, what will we see from him? So Perrine is a perfect 9-0-0 in the 3 games that she's come in with. I don't know that she'll come out because there is a very threatening Skahal and Cloud on the other side. We do have a Halloween Lucia who I could very much see coming out though, because she does have multiple guaranteed hits in her kit. And she has like a follow-up attack damage that is basically elementalist, so I think that could get around some dark resist. Would not at all be surprised to see her come out. I think the one unit that I can almost guarantee comes out though is Little Lila, the 40 cost unit, and the reason being is because with her 140 especially, she is damn good for 40 cost. If she is able to land a silence on either Starlight Elena or Skahal, if the one of those 2 teams come out, I think it could potentially be game over for Coppola, and that I think that is like the one win condition here for SurfTaco. So I would not at all be surprised to see Little Lila. Aside from that though, I think it's anybody's guess as to what he brings. So let's jump into this series, go into game 1 and see what happens. All right, guys, game number 1 here between Coppola and SurfTaco. We've got Lucio showing on the left and Little Lila showing on the right. So has to be that, well, it doesn't have to be, but I have to imagine that it's the Lucio, Starlight Elena, Naya team from Coppola. And what all do we see from SurfTaco here? Is it the Halloween Lucia pick? No, it is not. It is Perrine. So he actually just like calls it. He says, no, you're bringing light. I'm going to go Perrine. Interesting. So I covered my resolve comes out from Elena, gets the courage online here. And Perrine might be pretty interesting in this matchup. Greater Domain of Water. Going to pump up that AoE resist up, slash tech resist up. Also gives her a nice little recovery. Aerith, I imagine, yep, going for her magic barrier. So really trying to mitigate that damage that Starlight Elena is going to do. That is the number 1 thing. And just hoping that the physical health... Oh no, it's not Halloween Lucia. I keep thinking it's Halloween Lucia and it's Perrine. I was just like so convinced that he was going to bring Halloween Lucia and that it's Perrine. It's just shocking to me. I imagine this is regen. Yes, it is. Regen, critical evasion, healing power up. Pretty standard initial turn rotations coming out from Coppola here, and Keenblade coming out from SurfTaco, making sure to get that Halloween Little Lila out front. Regular Little Lila. Oh my goodness. There's too many damn Little Lilas in this game. It's really confusing. Okay, AP cost rate down. Remove Protect on attack. Bunch of really good stuff here for Perrine. And there is the zombie TMR for Elena. So she's got her extra lives online. This is pretty standard coming out from Coppola. And is this a Keenblade? I don't think he used it already, did he? He might have already used it. I think I missed it. Saintly Wall comes up. Physical shield and critical evasion. Going to try and make him very bulky against that Perrine as Re-Raise comes out from Aerith here. So both teams having some very strong initial turn rotations. Sweet support comes out. So just getting this team to be as fast as physically possible. Crucially, Little Lila cannot reach here with this silence. Starlight Elena, I think, is just out of range here. And Perrine sitting there with 11k health. Does she have another buff online? No, she doesn't. She's just going to walk forward. So Starlight Elena is there. I think she can find an AoE. No, I think this actually just hits Little Lila. I think SurfTaco's Perrine is just one step outside of it. Prismatic Punishment. This will be telling. How much damage does this do here? She's a pretty good magical tank, and she has the magic barrier online. That is going to eat through all 3 hits, but she soaked that quite well. I am curious to see if she has light resistance also. Guard Haste is going to be online here. Lucio's going to go next. He should be able to chain with Starlight Elena, though. This should do a lot. Crescentic Break going to drop the Little Leela. She crucially does have re-raise, though. If she can find his silence, that's really the only way here, though, because that Lucio is just going to cut through Little Leela like butter. Perine's going to go next. What kind of damage can she do? She's got 84 AP. She finds Vortex Kick. It's dodged by the Elena. Crucially, AoE finds the Naya, though. The healer in the back line. That is pretty huge. This is a silencing spell. It comes out. It silences the Elena. Oh, man. That is super crippling for Coppola. The standard attack's going to hit the Perine here. Can Aerith go for a heal here? Might be able to keep Little Leela alive for another hit. Holy Prayer. I don't think Lucio can one-shot here. He had the chain last time to increase the damage. What does he do? Is he able to find an AoE on both her and Aerith? I believe his Limit Break might be able to find both if he goes for it. So that is what he's going to do. He's going to go for Crescentic, or sorry, not Crescentic Break, Luminous Grace. This also drops light resistance, which could be pretty massive. That's a lot of damage, but not enough to kill. And actually, the reactionary heal comes out. Oh, man. This is kind of wild. Perine, who does she go for here? Does she go for Lucio or does she go for Elena? Subjugating Fist, that is a guaranteed hit. I believe she has 3 casts of it overall, so brings her to Courage, but this silence on Elena is just so crippling. She can't do anything unless she dies and comes back. If she comes back, she will no longer be silenced. But Holy Prayer is going to bring this team to full, and this looks like it's probably SurfTaco's match to lose. Crescentic Break, again, a lot of damage, but it's just not enough because Elena's not there to chain with him. Silencing spell is going to take her out. What is his CT like, though? Because she's going to come back off a re-raise. Can Perine kill her first? She should go next. If this is Subjugating Fists against Elena, I think this is over. It is. Yeah, that's going to take her out. She is gone. There's no Naya to re-raise. And this game 1 is going to be SurfTaco's to lose. This Lucio was very impressive. We've seen Coppola do some crazy things with her, but with him. But I just don't see it. Aerith coming in with some clutch heals. This Little Leela silence. MVP here. And this will be interesting. So Lucio with the standard attack here, 2682 is actually pretty good for a regular attack. Another Subjugating Fist. I wonder, is that her best damage tool there, or is that because Lucio is also dodgy? That is one thing I didn't think about. Like, is Lucio evasive enough to dodge these people? I don't think he'd be able to do enough damage anyway. Chicken Blade comes down, drops the Bravery. It's going to reduce his damage even further. And this 40 cost Little Leela is proving to be the MVP. Standard attack going to do 1668. 11 actions left. Who's going to take this kill? Crescentic Break, 4479. You can see how much that Bravery down is mitigating his damage also. And this is a very clean game 1 for SurfTaco. Wow. There have been teams to beat Coppola in a game, but never a game as convincing as that, I will say. That was a very one-sided win. I will say, like, if it was the re-raise was everything. You know, if that re-raise didn't come through from Aerith, Little Leela would have dropped right away, never would have landed silence. Elena would have went absolutely nuts, and I'm sure Coppola wins that. But that re-raise was crucial. It brought back Little Leela. She was able to get the silence on Elena. And now my question here is, what does Coppola do here? Does he try and go with a more physically based team? Because he could go Lightning, to be fair. He could go Skahal and Cloud. Skahal might not have to be like within as much range to get his damage off. He might be able to do it from more backline, where Elena is more prone to get silenced. Does he, I don't know, man. Like, does he do that or go somewhere else? I think, because the big question is, like, if he gets silenced, he's probably going to lose with either comp, I would imagine. That would be my thought. So as much as Coppola has just been like crushing it, if silence lands, it's very, very crippling, because he has a magic damage dealer in both of his main 2 comps. So what will he bring out for game 2? Let's go ahead and find out. Game number 2 here, guys. We've got Coppola's Lucio still showing, so it looks like he's running back the same light comp. Is SurfTaco able to do the same thing that he did in game 1? Because that was a very pretty decisive game 1 victory, I would say, in SurfTaco's favor here. I did switch back to SurfTaco's filming here because it looks like Coppola did not have sound recorded, and I didn't want to have to lay out some like background music or anything like that. So Starlight Elena's going to go first. So is this positioning any different? She goes for Courage, and this is not the same team from SurfTaco, actually. I am shocked with how well that first game went. He switches it up. Interesting. Light Blessing come out from Lucio. So this is not the same initial turn rotation. He did not go Keenblade. I don't think I've ever seen Cop not run Keenblade. That's wild. But Halloween Lucia, Summer Elsie, and Little Leela comes out from SurfTaco here. Unit attack resist on the party. I imagine this is Naya moving forward for a regen. Yes, it should be. Regen is very good, especially with the critical evasion. And the Keen Blade coming out from SurfTaco. I am shocked that he left Aerith on the sideline. Aerith's heals were pretty massive last time. The regen comes out. What does Halloween Lucia do here? She goes Good Fortune, Shell, and Critical Evasion. So really trying to mitigate that magic damage. Saying if the silence doesn't land, I need to be able to mitigate the damage. I do expect that Coppola probably brought some more silence resist to the party. It is very possible to get like 45 silence resist. The problem is Little Leela's is a like 66% or 67% chance. So even if you build that, it's technically not like a nullify. Oh my god, the silence lands again. She finds it immediately. Starlight Elena is crippled here. And Summer Elsie's going to find a limit break. Dreamy Typhoon, I'm pretty sure this hits both. Oh my goodness. Can SurfTaco do it? Can SurfTaco be the first one to take somebody out? Procs the courage on Starlight Elena. First one to take Coppola out, excuse me. But there should be a pretty massive heal from Naya coming here. But Naya's going to have to heal for like 3 turns in order for this to work. Can Halloween Lucia hit before this heal goes off? She's going to hit Lucio. Arcane Assimilation comes out. I think this is probably going to kill. The follow-up attack should do a lot, even if he has a lot of Dark Resist. 2484 only from the limit break, but the arcane shot is 1888. It drops the Lucio. This Kiriga is going to heal Elena, but she's silenced. This Kiriga is only going to do so much. Naya does have 2 full life casts, though. What's going to happen here? Elena's going to walk forward, and she literally can't hit. Coppola literally hasn't been able to do any damage to this team yet. What can she do? Silencing spell, 5286. Good God, this 140 Leela is just putting in work. This has to be a little Leela, or full life coming up from Naya, I imagine. Law of Geo Assimilation is going to take out the Elena, but she does have the re-raise. She is no longer silenced. The turn order, though, Halloween Lucia is going to go next, and they're just bullying her. She's going to drop the Anima Esper, Silent Darkness. So Halloween Lucia running Anima. Interesting. I'm sure that's because of the light resist. Man, oh man. This should take the kill here. Naya going to channel a full life. Can she get 2 of them off in the meantime? Oh, man. Naya's going to finish this first. It's going to be on... No, wait, what? This was for a Kiriga? She was curing Elena there, not full lifing Lucio. I thought for sure this was a full life. Oh, this is over. Coppola has not been able to do a single point of damage yet. This should finally be a full life, but she's not going to last long enough. Toad's Curse is going to come out. Damage caps the Naya. And are you kidding me? SurfTaco wins 2-0 against Coppola. Coppola has not lost a single series all season. SurfTaco didn't drop a unit and literally did not take 1 point of damage in game 2. That was just incredibly impressive from SurfTaco's team. I can't say enough. Coppola is like the best player I've ever seen in WoTV, and his team is very, very good. So to win that was just chef's kiss. Beautiful, SurfTaco. Very, very, very well done. Super awesome win there with the 2-0 series win. And now the pressure is on me, and the pressure is on Willie Goats to have any sort of say here to try and make the playoffs. Let's go and jump into the last 2 series. All right, guys, series number 4 between MaechenX of the guild Lucis, coach of the Shoopufs Sweetheart, versus Willie Goats on the right here of the guild Solaris, coach of the Corpse Brigade. This series is pretty massive. So for MaechenX, if he wins this series, he officially clinches playoffs. Willie Goats, he needs to win this series to have a chance at making playoffs, and if he loses, he is out for sure. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens here. For MaechenX's side, he's got Elia, he's got Oberon, Snow, Zoma, Sweetheart Eldira, Luel, Miranda, Curry, Ravis, Uni, and Mia. And Willie Goats in the Corpse Brigade, he's got Knight of Ruin Stern, Dark Fina, Joker, Orlando, Ramza, Ketone, Delita, Gafgarian, Mustadio, Balo, and Warrior of Light. Now, as far as comps go, MaechenX has not brought any Sweetheart Eldira or Luel out to this point, but other than that, has mixed his comps up very, very well. Now, this map can be very good for missile units, so I would not at all be surprised to see MaechenX bring something like Curry or Elia out. So he could do something like Elia Oberon Mia, like he brought last week, or he could also bring Elia Curry Ravis. I think either one of those could work extremely well on this map. That being said, for Willie Goats in the Corpse Brigade, his most commonly used team is definitely that evasion team of Knight of Runestern, Delita, and Mustadio, but he has mixed and matched all season long to pretty good success for the most part here. He is recently liking that Warrior of Light pick as well. If he has a unit that can resist missile damage, I think that is the way to go. I'm not entirely sure who that would be out of his comp, but I'll have to see what he does. Let's jump into the series and find out. All right, guys, game number 1. We've got Willy Goats on the left with his Knight of Ruin Stern showing and MaechenX showing the Ravies. Because Ravies is showing for MaechenX, that makes me think that it almost is certainly Aloha Ravies Curry. I'm curious, though, on Willy's side if it's the Evasion or the Dark Squad. It is the Evasion Squad. It's Knight of Ruin Stern, Delita, Mustadio versus Ravies Curry, and no, wait, that is Oberon. That is not Aloha. I'm surprised. I thought it would have been Aloha on this map. It is Oberon. Very interesting. Okay, so the illusion comes out from Willy Goats' Knight of Runestern. Purple Dragon's Providence comes out from Oberon, getting the defense piercing rate, critical evasion, AoE resist, all that good stuff, while the accuracy buff comes out from Willy Goats. So I'm not sure if the accuracy will necessarily be needed, though Curry gets a nice buff up on the team, getting that damage up as well as some speed. And I think that is Agri's TMR, if I remember correctly. I think that is Protect and Shell, as the Lock TMR comes out from Delita, getting that agility and luck up, trying to make them more dodgy. Heart of Flutter comes out from Oberon, and honestly, Oberon, I'm curious to see if he is accurate enough to hit, or if he is going to be forced to use Thunder Smite. It'll be interesting to see. Bells comes out from Knight of Runestern, so he's got tons of AP online, as the Little Eel of the Bold comes out. TMR comes out from Mustadio for the agility boost. Curry's going to channel something here. Who is he targeting? As Courage comes out from Ravies. He's got a ton of range, so I'm curious to see who can hit from her. Is this Mustadio or Delita? Mega Charge comes out, one-shots the Mustadio from about 8 miles away. Shout out to Eminem. Crash Accessory Plus, Crush Accessory Plus. I said Crash, excuse me. Only 2,200 damage, not a ton. And what is Oberon going to do? He's going to channel his barrier. That barrier does have a cast time, but he should get it off in plenty of time. Hazard Render comes down. Honestly, not a ton of damage onto the Ravies. That tank is so damn good. Does drop her healing power, but again, probably not going to matter much. Is this another Mega Charge coming out from Curry? Is this hitting Delita? Crush Accessory Plus, 4321. Honestly, pretty good damage coming out from Delita. One more hit should bring her to Courage, so 2 more hits should kill the tank. The nice thing going on for Willy Goats is that Oberon is taking his sweet-ass time getting across the map. Mega Charge comes out. The unit attack resist will drop, but the Delita does not get hit, so he does not die. Mighty Break comes out, still sitting out with a ton of AP there for Knight of Runestern. What's going to happen here? Shadowbind, only 820. Delita tanked that up insanely well. Delita's going to walk up, get some AP for his trouble, and take out the tank. And this is a very close fight. This is a 2v2. Oberon goes for Thunder Smite, though, and one-shots the Knight of Runestern. Wait, when did his shield drop? I do not remember him taking damage. Does Thunder Smite... Oh, wait. Oh, my God. Crush Accessory Plus kills the Curry. I'm pretty sure the 140 buff for Oberon. Thunder Smite breaks barriers now. Thunder Smite one-shots the Delita, and oh my God, I didn't even think about the fact that Oberon, I think, is level 140. I'm pretty sure Thunder Smite now breaks barriers, and that is actually massive for this fight. If that was not the case, Knight of Runestern would have gotten another attack off. That fight might have been entirely different. So that 140 buff coming out from Oberon actually looking massive there, as MaechenX takes the game 1 victory. A 3-2 victory there in game 1. Excellent game 1 coming out from both teams there. And yeah, that 140 mattering a lot. Very, very interesting. Curious to see what the switch up is for game 2 from Willy Goats' side. Does he stick with the same evasion angle? Does he do something different? Let's go ahead and find out. All right, guys, game number 2, we have a switch up here. Willy Goats is hovering the Warrior of Light while MaechenX is still hovering Ravi. So is it the same team from MaechenX, or did he switch into something like Aloha instead of the Oberon? Because it's a switch from Willy. Warrior of Light plus what? Warrior of Light, Delita, Gafgarian. Okay. So the tank and a couple of damage dealers. So not an evasion team necessarily, just trying to bring the pain. As Oberon's going to go with the same buff as last time. Critical evasion, AoE resist, and Bell's online for the Delita this time. Keenblade coming out from Gafgarian. 500 CT for the party. And Zombie Transformation coming out from Warrior of Light. Nothing new here. This is pretty much how Willy has been running this team up to this point. As Hunter's Distinction comes up, and pretty much the exact same buff rotation as game 1 coming out from MaechenX. This is, again, I believe it is Agri's TMR. Protect and Shell, regardless, is going to be a nice little boost for her. Gafgarian looks like out of buffs here, so he's just going to walk forward, save himself some CT. That Magic Barrier going to do absolutely nothing, actually, for the Warrior of Light there. Something I probably would have tried to turn off if I was Willy Goats, but Crush Accessory Plus comes out from Delita, 25.91. And this Ravies we've seen many times is such an incredibly good physical tank. Frostmaw Barrage lands. Does anybody have Frostbite resist, or did that land on both? I did not get to see. Immortal Spirit comes out, so Courage on the Ravies right now. And yeah, the Frostbite is on Gafgarian, so he's going to get like one good attack here. Oh my god, he's got Store. He's going to lose AP next time. He's going to be able to use one ability, I think, this whole fight probably. Barrier coming out from Oberon. Looking very similar to game 1 here. Karma Blade Plus comes out. Fire Attack Resist down. Don't get to see that very often. Warrior of Light, he's going to go Limit Break. This will be a nice slash chain. Will it be enough, though? Absolutely awesome animation, but going to do basically nothing in terms of damage. And the slash chain's not really going to matter because Gafgarian will not be able to follow up in time. Ravies is going to go next. Curry, what can he go for? Frostmaw Barrage, another hit on the Gafgarian. Not a ton of damage, though, and he already had Frostbite, so not the biggest deal in the world. But it looks like this is the limit break onto the Gaf from Oberon. Probably not the target that MaechenX necessarily wanted it into. No, that actually hit Warrior of Light. I'm sorry. I thought that was going into Gaf. It was the only person I could see on the screen. He heals it all back up. Oh, man, the stun. How much will that matter? If it was going to stun anybody, I'm sure Willy would prefer that it's Warrior of Light. That is the tank. That did not proc Courage. I don't know how much health she has, but it was not 1. It was very low, but it was not 1. And the Courage now finally gets proc from Delita. That stun actually could be big because Warrior of Light would have been able to get that kill on Ravies and then move forward, but he is stuck in position there, and now Gafgarian is still next to him. He would have been able to one-shot the Ravies and then move. And now the AoE picks it up. Blade Bash going to hit the Warrior of Light. The stun does not land this time. He should be able to get a kill here.
Nothing.
And he will. You need to move out of the way for Delita. He's just going to stand there to save his CT. And Karma Blade Plus is going to do a little bit of damage, but I think this is probably another Royal Ren coming out.
Inexperienced.
Yeah, it is. A nice little chain and lands the stun on Delita. So the double stun looking pretty crucial here for Machen. I will say the missile resistance must be on point for Willy Goats. Either that or a lot of defense that Curry cannot penetrate. The stun is going to fade on Delita, but I think it's going to be too little too late for him. Royal Ren's going to come out, and unless Delita has Reflex in his kit, which I'm not aware of, Warrior of Light gets the re-raise, but he again is probably one hit from death. Delita's going to move out of the way smartly and take out the Curry, but he's really not the threat. The threat is Oberon, but he at least moved himself out of potential AoE range. They're slowly getting through this barrier on Oberon, but Delita's going to have to be able to one-shot him. I don't know if he can do that even without the barrier. How much damage do you have in your kit, Delita? You need to summon it all right now. Crush Accessory Plus 49.92. It is not enough. Both of those stuns earlier in the fight looking like they matter tremendously here. The end of the fight ended up being 1,394 damage difference. I think if either one of those stuns don't happen, Willy Goats takes that game 2 victory. I'm almost certain. So, man, RG slightly in MaechenX's favor. I think it's a 25% chance, so it's like close to 50-ish realistically. But, man, GG's. Excellent game, excellent fight between both of these two teams. Willy Goats, unfortunately, will not be able to make the playoffs because SurfTaco is currently sitting at 17 points and Sandrooster is sitting at 18. And MaechenX has now clinched his playoff berth. So, Willy Goats is out of it, and the only other team that could potentially make the playoffs aside from that Sandrooster and SurfTaco is my team. We'll have to see if I end up winning my series. That is the final series of the day, and let's jump into it. All right, guys, the final series of the day, it is mine, and I'm up against it right now. I need to win to try and basically keep my playoff hopes alive. If I do win one single game and don't win the series, I do technically still have a chance to make the playoffs, but I need to try and win this series to keep pace with SurfTaco, as I do have the tiebreaker over him. So it'll be very important to see what happens here. So my team, I am of the Guild Thunder Gods, coach of the Demon Detectives, versus Mr. Aloha of the Guild Dead Society and coach of Pineapple Pizza. On my roster, I've got Little Lila the Bold, Ibarra, Lightning, Garvel, Yuna, Moraga, Kane, Shadowlynx, Titus, Severo, and Gargus. And on his squad, he's got Velas, Celeste, Eliza, Glaciella, Wazette, Moore, Barrett, Kilfay, Grace, Valade, Liarte, and Oron. Now, the last couple weeks, we've seen him bring out Oron multiple times. I do think that is because it's his fan favorite unit. I don't think it's the strongest unit on his team, but I do think he really enjoys using him. Will we see him again this week? I wasn't sure about that. The two units that really jumped off the screen to me that basically made me a little worried was there were two. One was Eliza and the other one was Kilfe. Now, one of them being Eliza, I feel like I could potentially mitigate by bringing Titus. And looking at his team, I really felt like Titus just in general would be a really good answer for his team. I thought Missile and Pierce Resistance are his two biggest damage types. Well, Glaciella has put in a ton of work for him, and Eliza is always scary. Barrett has missile damage. So honestly, like a lot of the threats on his team are either Pierce or Missile. And if he brings Oron, I felt like I could have my damage dealers dispose of him quickly to the point where he wouldn't be able to close the gap and really, you know, hit my backline or anything like that. So I knew this week, similar to last week, that I wanted to bring Titus in my game number 1. Now, the other units that I, thought about bringing, I thought about bringing somebody like Gargus in case that he brought the Kilfe, because I thought Gargus could be a really good answer into that. But ultimately, I decided to go with Garvel and Lightning as my two other units. My thought being that I thought Lightning could be pretty good on this map. She would be very good into any sort of water unit that he could bring, including Celis, where Ibarra is not quite as strong into Celis as Lightning is. And Garvel, in general, just being able to get his barrier online can build up a little bit of bulk and could do some pretty effective damage into most of his team. So the team that I decided to bring for game 1 was Titus, Garvel, and Lightning. And honestly, if I was going to take a guess as to what he was going to bring for game number 1, I thought Barrett, Eliza, like Liarte was definitely possible. If he was trying to beat me, and if he was trying to have fun, I thought Oron might come. That was realistically like what I was thinking for the series. We'll have to find out and see what happened. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, so game number 1, as you can see, he is hovering the Oron in the first game here, and I am hovering my Titus. Like I said, I'm bringing Titus, Lightning, and Garvel for my squad here. That was basically the comp that I thought could work pretty well here. And you can see that he's bringing Orin, Barrett, and Grace. I will say this team almost beat Sandrooster's team last week. So as much as I was saying it's about having fun, this team is not a bad team by any means. So Barrett, especially with his level 140, can be pretty scary. That being said, Lightning goes for her relentless assault buff, getting agility and accuracy on the party. Garvel's going to walk forward with his barrier, and I have a lot of skills for Titus turned off. Basically, my biggest thing was I thought as long as he got his hate buff off, that was going to be a crucial. So you can see from Mr. Aloha's side, he is running the Starlight Elena TMR, getting some of that dark resistance up. He told me after the fight that Oron actually has insane dark and slash resist in this build, so he was very much expecting a Little Elo the Bold. So he did put quite a bit of prep into this idea here, and you can see the shield coming out from Titus, not Turbobar, excuse me, on turn number 1. Critical evasion, physical shield, and now I have my pursuit buff on Lightning. So all 3 of my units have 3-hit shields at this moment, and Garvel pops the re-raise. So I'm feeling pretty good about this, thinking that I can probably take a decent amount of hits. So Grace, what is she going to do in this moment? She's actually out of buff. She's going to walk forward slightly. And Oron going to go and trust the future, get his accuracy up, defense piercing rate up. So he is ready to do the damage, but he's stepping forward a little bit. I'm hoping that I can take him out. As you can see, Titus does not go for a second buff. The only buff I had online was his shield, and Barrett's going to go for Catastrophe. This is something that I thought about could be potentially possible. He could land a Confusion on one of my units here. He does land the Confusion. It's a little scary to me, but it's on my tank at least. As Life Siphon 2 comes out from Lightning, I crit for 8,500 damage on the Oron, and the Pursuit buff is going to take him out in game 1. So immediately, I'm in very good shape for this fight here. Garvel going to walk forward. I'm hoping he can find an AoE, but he cannot. Not in range to detonation blast on both. Just goes for his standard attack to proc the Courage on the Barrett, as Grace here should go for a heal. Now, it's this moment where Titus would normally be able to take out the Barrett, but instead he goes for the Lightning, who then counterattacks him. So a little friendly fire between my units trying to hurt each other here. As Kiriga Perseverant comes out, actually raises the area resist, which is pretty cool, and Point Blank comes out. Another tech that Mr. Aloha told me he was using to try and get rid of the Courage on my units. I actually was not running Courage on Titus, though, as Lightning walks up and one-shots the Grace along with her Pursuit buff. And I'm not running Little Lila with Courage either, so I don't have any on my squad here, as Jamming Thrust from Garvel finishes up the game 1 win. Now, I will say, I don't think this is the best team that Mr. Aloha could have brought versus my team, but I understand why he brought it. So he told me after the battle that he was not expecting what I brought. He was expecting Little Lila the Bold to come out, so he very much tried to prep for that and to try and build against that with Dark and Slash Resist. Well, as you can see, I really didn't do much Slash or Dark damage in this fight. My Garvel, the first thing that he hit was just his standard attack because he didn't need to, because my lightning was the one who blew everyone up with neither slash or dark damage, right? So that is kind of why. So I end up taking the game 1 victory. So after talking to him a little bit, we were going to play game number 2 on a different day, but we decided to do it on the same day because we were both kind of busy at different times and stuff like that. I had a wedding the next day, and he said, oh, I'll be up for a while. Are you cool to do it tonight? And I said, sure, absolutely. So he took about an hour and a half, I think. And then we went to jump into game number 2. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? He's bringing his favorite unit to this fight. The least I can do is try and have a little more fun with my combo list, like switch it up. And I really wanted to try and bring Gargus, even though he has a lot of ice on his team. I tried to basically just like call a bluff here. I really thought that he might bring Killfay because I brought Lightning in game 1. So for game 2, I decided to go with Titus, Little Lilo the Bold, and Gargus because I thought there was a very good chance that he switched his team completely, and I wanted to try and counter the Killfay. So let's see how it works out in game number 2. All right, guys, game number 2 here. So still, he's hovering the Barret this time, not Oron. So still has Barret, just like last time, but I'm looking at attack stat. It looks different, and I am wondering if he is bringing Eliza here. He does not have a high magic stat, so now I'm thinking my Killfay call was completely wrong, and it definitely is. So one of the units that I was most afraid of going into this week is the Eliza, and she is showing her face, which I'm not super thrilled about, and I'm slightly nervous about this match. So Steelskin Plus comes out, gets his own Courage buff online. Eliza's going to go next with Tracking Techniques, and Lilarte, excuse me, also scares me a little bit because she could potentially go for something like a Charm Charge, which I am really not running Charm Resist on this team and could catch me off guard. So my little Leela goes for her Slash Pen buff to get her own healing back up as well when she gets low. Grace of Eternal Friendship comes out from Gargus. I thought about doing a zombie TMR instead, but I really wanted that agility buff on him as well, get his speed up, so I decided to go with that instead. Revitalize coming out from Liarte, so she's going to have tons of AP, and this double missile is starting to scare me just based on how the positioning is lining up. Nose for the Hunt comes out from Eliza, and Barrett's going to walk forward and go for the Limit Break on Titus again, and I'm thinking, this position is a lot different. If this confusion happens and he walks back into my team, if my team catches some AoEs, this could be pretty bad for me, actually. So Little Lilo the Bold goes Pure Hearts Never Die, gets her Courage buff online. And Gargus is going to go next. So he's going to do an attack on Barret. I'm hoping this is Flare because it's not elemental. Will not suffer the elemental disadvantage. And it is 6679 crit is pretty damn good damage. My Titus, for me, is actually fortunately smart enough to just go standard attack the Barret rather than the Gargus. I think that's like a 50-50 chance. He picks the right one. Barrage comes down, and you can see that Liarte is running Thornlet because that crit dropped Gargus's agility. Aerostorm of Removal comes out, 4526, and now Gargus is quite low, and I'm like, can Barret find an AoE? He most certainly can. Point Blank comes out, crits for 6k on the Gargus, and now I am in a 2v3 with a very low Titus. Pretty Paralyzer comes out in Barret, which is good damage, but procs the Courage. He's still alive here. And Liarte is going to go for my Titus. Shadow Devour, 1472. He has dropped. I'm now in a 1v3 in game 2, and this is not looking good for me. Eliza's going to go Limit Break, and I'm thinking I might drop in one hit to this. Cage of Thorns is about to do a ton of damage now that my tank is not there to soak it. 8816. Mr. Aloha absolutely obliterates my Leela. She fortunately is able to heal back up. Barret does not have the AP to take me out, but there's no way I'm going to be able to take out all three here. She walks up, gets the kill on Barret, and Eliza's going to go next. I have a 1000 health Little Leela, and unless she has Reflex in the kit, which she does not, this game 2 is over, and I get absolutely demolished in game number 2. So my team switch up was not a smart call. There was like a part of me that thought this could be fun by bringing Gargus, and another part of me thought that like this would be sick if I called this bluff of him switching to Killfay. It was not funny after game 2. I lost that, was not happy. I was like, oh crap, what did I do? So now I'm thinking in game 3, it is very possible that he does exactly what I was just, trying to call in game 2. But ultimately I was like, going into this series, I felt like my best team comp that I could bring was Titus, Lightning, and Garvel. And so for game 3, I decided I'm going to bring that no matter what. I'm probably going to change my positioning up a little bit to try and make myself not as predictable. And regardless of what he brings, I'm just going to have to be okay with it. And we'll see if I can win or not. So game 3, let's jump into it and see what happens. Game number 3 here, guys. So we've got Barrett showing again with a high attack stat, and I've got Titus showing. So I'm thinking this is probably the same comp that he just brought and just destroyed me with. So I am hoping that bringing Garvel and Lightning is going to work better than bringing Gargus and Little Eel the Bold. So we'll see how this works. These are the 2 comps that won up to this point. And you're going to see I switched my positioning to the opposite side of the map. I've got Relentless Assault coming in, and my thought process was I should be able to space it so that Eliza can't hit me right away, and Titus should be able to lead the charge here and not get anyone else caught in AoE. So Steel Skin Plus still coming out from Barrett, still the same buff as last time. Tracking Techniques comes out from Eliza, notably positioning a little different from Mr. Aloha as well, because this time it does not hit Liarte, it hits Barrett. The barrier coming out from Garvel, and he actually moves to the side. I actually really like this because this might mean he gets his re-raise ability off as well. And they're moving to the side because of that hate from Barrett. It is making their movement very strange. So this is going to allow more buffs to come out from the teams in general. But Eliza, you're going to notice she has absolutely insane range, and she's going to drop a limit break from here. I'm very happy that this is going into my Titus, though, who has quite a high missile resistance, and it crits for 1608, which is very good. That limit break hit Little Eel last game for 8800. So the difference is pretty substantial, as Barrett's going to go King Mont TMR, going to move himself all the way across the map. So I don't love that, because now my AoEs will probably not hit the backline. Garvel's going to walk forward, go for the limit break though, and I'm hoping this does a ton of damage. Concentrated Chi Lancer does his own little Naruto run into a Spirit Bomb, drop onto his head. 5828 drops the Spirit, and now Titus, can he get in range to do damage? He can. He goes for Paralyzing Slash. The Paralyze actually does land on the Barrett. I don't think the chances of that are very high. My Titus is 50 Faith, as Triple Flight comes out and does only about 2,000 damage across the 3-hit chain there, as the barrier soaked up a lot of it. Liarte going to go for a Barrage, and you're going to notice that my Garvel only took 272 damage. He has 70 missile resist in this build. So he is quite effective against that missile damage. As Life Siphon 2 comes out, the Pursuit will follow up, and I'm going to take out the tank. And now I'm thinking this should be my game to win, as long as Garvel can walk up and get some damage on the other team. And he's going to walk up. He's going to find it. He finds the double kill with the Detonation Blast, and I end up taking the Game 3 victory quite convincingly. So first of all, props to Mr. Aloha for making it a fun series. Honestly, after as well as the game 1 went, I kind of got cocky in my head. I really thought I was going to win game 2. And after he just smoked me in game 2, I got quite nervous and was very worried about how this game 3 was going to go. But I did end up winning, and I'm very, very happy for that. So this has a number of implications on the standings, which I'll go over in just a few minutes. But again, I just wanted to shout out Mr. Aloha for making it very competitive, and it was a lot of fun. And this whole league has been a lot of fun. I have only one more matchup in the regular season this week. I'm really hoping I win so I can make the playoffs, but we'll see what happens. I know next week is going to be a tough match, so we'll see. But it was a really awesome series. Let's jump into the stats and the standings and take a look at those. All right, guys, for the assist leaderboard here, number 1 overall should come as no surprise. It is Naya still of the Gnostics with 46 assists. I will say she didn't gain any this week, and she's still in the lead by 7. That is pretty amazing, to be honest. In second place, no surprise, another 40 cost just powerhouse of Little Leela of the Superrenes with 39 assists. Third place, we've got Zazan of the Bearhemian Rhapsody with 27. Aerith of the Superrenes with 26. So the Superrenes with multiple units in the top 4. Very, very impressive at this point. Shoopufs Sweetheart splitting up those assists with 21 for Uni and 20 for Ravies. Bearhemian Rhapsody again on the board with 20 for JAYDEN Rundall. Stadio of the Corpse Brigade with 19, Lucio also of 19, and last week I held down the 10th spot on the leaderboard for the assists with Severo with 13, but Titus actually stacked up a ton this week, and actually he is now number 10 with 18. As for the kill leaders, jumping into those, we have a brand new kill leader for this season. So whether or not SurfTaco makes the playoffs, he might just have the kill leader by the end of the season, and that is something as well. So Lucia Halloween, number 1 for the Superrenes with 21, passed up Starlight Elena, who was number 1 for quite a while. Starlight Elena still in second place for the Gnostics with 19 kills. And then we have a 3-way tie for third between Oberon Heinler of the Shoopufs Sweetheart, my team, Demon Detectives Little Eel of the Bold, and JAYDEN Rundall of Bearhemian Rhapsody. Not to be forgotten by his other version, the Summer JAYDEN with 14 kills, and Glacial Flagbearer as well with 14 kills of Black Sheep Knights. Alaya Rundall of Shoopufs Sweetheart, Delita of the Corpse Brigade, both with 13, 2-way tie for 8th, and bringing up the rear there in 10th place of the kill leaderboards, Superrene of the Superrenes. She has come to 4 games and she has 12 kills. Every single game that she has come to for the Superrenes, she has gotten every single kill available. So that is incredibly impressive. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for, here are the standings. So taking a look here, we have 2 teams that have officially clinched a playoff berth to this point, and we have a different team currently sitting in first place as to last week. That is MaechenX of the Shoopufs Sweetheart with 22 points with that 7-0-1 record, and Coppola of the Gnostics with 21 points. Now, I will note that these 2 teams, neither one has clinched first place as they play each other next week, but they have both clinched a top 2 place. There is no possible way for any other team to reach one of the first 2 seeds. First and second are guaranteed to be the Shoopufs Sweetheart and the Gnostics in some fashion. It literally just comes down to who wins next week because they play each other. So trying to fight for that higher or better draft selection comes down to next week. So that should be a really fun matchup to watch. Probably some pretty low pressure, to be honest, because you're going to be guaranteed the playoffs, but at least like fighting for a better draft spot will be really cool to see. That is where things get interesting, though, because we now have 3 teams fighting for 2 playoff spots. We have Sandrooster of the Bearhemian Rhapsody with 18 points, my team, the Demon Detectives, with 17 points, and SurfTaco and the Superrenes with 17 points. So I've said this before, but just in case this looks weird, the fact that my total plus minus is +3 and SurfTaco's is +5, it seems like he should have the tiebreaker, but our first tiebreaker for playoffs is head-to-head record, and my team did beat his team head-to-head. I believe it was week 5. So that is why I currently have the tiebreaker. So if all 3 of our teams win next week, Sandrooster and I will make the playoffs, and unfortunately SurfTaco will be like the top seed of the toilet bowl, but anything can happen here. So first of all, Sandrooster and Bearhemian Rhapsody plays against Willy Goats and the Corpse Brigade in the final week, and that is no pushover. Willy Goats' team is very, very solid. Again, my team plays against AllSmokedUp and the Gumi Gods, who is not far behind him, has had a few really good wins this season. Again, should be a tough matchup. And SurfTaco in the Superrenes in the final week plays against Black Sheep Knights and King Delita, who also has shown some really good stuff throughout the season. So we have 5 teams eliminated from playoffs that will be in the toilet bowl, 2 guaranteed for playoffs, and these final 3 teams will be fighting it out in the final week. So Sandrooster has the tiebreaker over both of us, and I have the tiebreaker over SurfTaco. So if there was a situation where me and SurfTaco lost our series but won 1 game, and Sandrooster lost 0-2 when we all ended up with 18 points, the standings would still finish in this exact same way. So to break it down as easily as possible, me and Sandrooster, if we win, we are in. SurfTaco needs one of us 2 to lose, and he needs to win to make the playoffs. That's pretty much the most simple route into making it. So with 1 week left for both Heinler and Rundall, it is coming down to the final week, which is really awesome because last year, season 1 anyway, everything was basically decided for the final week. Like there was 1 or 2 seeds that could flip around, but all 6 teams were already decided for the playoffs. So the fact that it comes down to the final week is very, very exciting and very, very nerve-wracking for the people who are fighting for those spots. So it should be a great time, regardless whether or not I make it into the playoffs. If I'm not going to make it, these are 2 very worthy teams to make it, and I'm not going to be disappointed if those 2 teams make it over me. That being said, I might be a little disappointed because I'm very competitive, and I didn't make it last time, and I really want to make it this time. And I'm doing a lot better than I did season 1. Season 1, I think I finished the season with 9 points. Right now, I'm currently sitting with 17 with a opportunity for 18 or 20. I'm hoping for 20. I don't want it to be over. I want to win the whole thing. I'm very competitive. So anyway, it's been a blast. Season 2 has been really awesome. We have 1 final week for you guys coming up next week before our playoff redraft and our toilet bowl competition. I'm looking forward to all of it. I hope you guys are too. If you liked the video, hit like and subscribe down below. Leave a comment as to who you think is going to make the playoffs, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day.